Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Blackout Tea channel. I hope you guys are having a blessed and a wonderful Monday. Let's go ahead and get into the shenanigans, honey, surrounding T.S. Madison, Tasha K, and the DL Whisperer. Do your girl a favor, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notification bells so that you guys are made aware each and every time I come through. So y'all know the DL Whisper has been locked up due to him riding by T.S. Madison's home. Him and T.S. Madison had been in a back and forth, beef battle thing for a while. And T.S. Madison went online and gave information from his credit report. And he actually rode by T.S. Madison's home. So it seems like it's been a tit for tat thing. It has just gotten out of control. Okay. T.S. Madison allegedly is sort of blaming him for following up others, including Tasha K. And a lot of people are just like, why are they mad at the DL Whisperer anyway? Because at the end of the day, women feel as if they've been put onto game with him being able to assist them in figuring out if their man is on the DL. Now we know a lot of men out here are, okay? I mean, it's just what it is. Why these men don't want to come to the forefront and tell their significant other that they want to be involved with men, I do not know. Because at the end of the day, I'm also finding that a lot of females are in to dudes that like men. So, child, let's go ahead and take a look at the shenanigans. So, T.S. Madison last week says, once again, I'd like to sincerely thank you, Ho. Tasha K, you did the work, and it's been a clean sweep since you stepped in. Thank you for your service, bitch. So, according to T.S. Madison, he's trying to say Tasha K is a detriment to everything that she touches. He says, but thanks for all you did in this case, bitch. And see, I see that house is for sale. I would buy it, but I don't want my money going on your judgment. One of the persons in her comment says, T.S., wait for a little bit, then buy the house and turn it into a cute trans influencer house. Somebody else came back and said, this is not a win. DL Whisperer made it as far because he became the Kevin Samuels for black women. When he gets out, they're still going to embrace him. And if he had a bond amount, they'd get him out. The deeper issue is the division between straight and trans women. This is where the conversation needs to start. This is one small victory, but what about the straight women who will vote against all measures that are essential for LGBTQ rights, which are on the table as we speak? There's a lot of work to be done. Another person says trying to hurt you, but fuck around and hurt herself and her misguided flunky, not the misguided flunky. Another person says if you buy it, the money will go to Cardi. So another person says ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Whew, ma, no bone. Keep one and Maddie. So it seems like people are in between. And the reason I say that is because we're going to get into what folks were saying over on Tasha K's page as well. Let's see what they got to say. Let's get into it.
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your man is?
I'm an expert. I am the DL Whisperer.
He claims he can sense if your man is on the down low.
We need to start protecting women, especially black women.
The DL Whisperer. Thousands of people, mostly women, flocking to him for advice. But at whose expense?
Bashing random people for no reason you don't know them.
DL alert! DL alert!
It's become a dangerous game.
Come play on me like that, gang. I'll smack the out you here.
Yeah, no, that's lame. That's not cool.
That's backfiring. The threats and doxing.
Look where I'm at, ho!
Celebrities even filing protective orders.
Are you obsessed with DL Man?
This is a lie.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates.
So you know that the DL Whisperer was accused of lying. He was actually found to have lied on somebody that he tried to say was down low. The guy actually came out and showed text messages that the DL Whisperer had actually indeed tried to get into his DMs, but tried to make everybody think that it was actually the opposite way. So a lot of people are concerned that the DL Whisperer is actually placing people at harm's length and lying on them if they decide that they do not want to be with him. Lo and behold, the DL Whisperer has told Tasha K allegedly that that's not the reason why Maddie is really after him. They're saying that he is after him because his friend Dominique, they're doing some foundation work. I'm going to say that. And according to court records, it appears that Dominique has had some charges brought up against him due to some fraud allegations. But let's get it from Tasha K.
Hit dog, a man in a wig, holla. Now I'm very aware of what's been going down between TS Man and the DL Whisperer. I've been watching very closely. You guys know that I support the DL Whisperer. I've been seeing the back and forth, and now the shade room is involved, where Justin Carter is even covering it and making sure that certain information gets out on, restraining orders that are actually put on both. The DL Whisperer has a restraining order on him from TS, and he's actively getting one on TS Madison as well. It has been kind of back and forth, and it has gotten so big that it's like, oh my God, there are now weapons involved, there are house drive-bys involved. You have the house drive-by, Jasmine. It has just gotten out of hand, and you're forgetting why this is happening because there's just so much beef going on. But Jasmine, show the drive-by.
Yes, Madison, bring that ass outside. Look where I'm at, ho. What's up?
So this is real footage, okay? And I'm sure that this is what TS used to get the restraining order on DL Whisperer, and of course maybe some threats that have been made, and vice versa with him and her getting on live with guns and stuff, because the type of information that I'm giving you, yeah, they would probably ride by my house if they could and get away with it. But I ain't scared of you. The DL Whisperer, in my opinion, and I've told him this, he's emotional. When you get emotional, you do things that you shouldn't do, and they got you in a legal chokehold. And then guess what? They're only gonna listen to her because guess what? With him, because they got paperwork on you now. But they ain't got paperwork on me. But most of the trans community, the ones that follow this one here, I think it's time that we not focus on the antics of the drive-bys and the ride-bys and the restraining orders, and we get down into business as to why TS, in my opinion, and why Dominique Morgan, TS manager's partner and business partner, another transgender woman, is coming after the DL Whisperer because he's whispering and they don't like it. And it ain't got nothing to do with DL men. It's got everything to do with the propaganda that they're selling y'all out here as men in wigs. And I think you would be floored once you get this information, okay? And so without further ado, I'm going to introduce my partner, my PI, my investigator, who spent all day organizing every receipt that we're about to unwind on this show today, Mrs. Nyla says, hey, boo, how you doing?
Hey, boo, how are you?
You know that they have gotten a gag order on the DL Whisperer. He's unable to put out the information that he was trying to relay. We have it now. According to my research and what we've gotten, the reason that T.S. Madison and Dominique Morgan, her co-founder of the Starter House, is upset with DL Whisperer is because he pulled some illegal transactions that was done possibly between the two of them, and mainly from T.S. Madison's co-founder of the Starter House, Dominique Morgan. Is that correct?
This is what I'm finding.
Okay.
Everything that I have pulled up leads to that.
Start from the beginning, Nyla. Roll it out for us.
What we're looking at, in my opinion, is an organized takedown and a criminal smear campaign on the DL Whisperer. It is being made to look like this is all about protecting trans women's rights and all this kind of stuff, but nothing could be further from the truth. Well, first, we got to start with Miss Dominique. We all know about the starter house and all this kind of stuff, but we have to start with Dominique because Dominique is the plug. Every single alleged criminal organization always has a nucleus, the person that is the plug. And based on what I have been researching and even what I've seen of the DL Whisperer, it's Dominique. Dominique has several accolades under her belt as far as sitting on boards of multiple organizations, right? This woman has, this trans-identified male.
Thank you.
Is a person that is literally sitting on the board of about 4 to 5 non-for-profit organizations. Let's just start with her current legal situation, right? So back in 2024, Dominique was indicted in New York for stealing the upwards of $100,000 from a non-profit organization for which she sat on the board for. And what they found out was this funding that she got, he transferred it to his personal account, over $100,000, but the funding was specifically to help trans-identified males when they're locked up. So it was a bail fund. So if they went to jail, there was funding there to help them get out and get legal counsel and stuff like that. Dominique took all of that money, transferred it to his account. After transferring the money to his account, he was asked to make receipts, or not make receipts. He was asked to provide
proof.
Right. Provide receipts, legal receipts, for how he allocated those funds. And he did provide receipts. He provided receipts of names and bond records of people, but when they went back to do the research, there's this thing called Sarbanes-Oxley. If you've been an accountant like I have, you have to match things. Everything has to be reconciled, right? And so when they went to do the reconciliation, what they found out was he was making up names of people that had never been arrested and making up the bond receipts and taking the money and put it in his account. He spent about $20,000 giving custom closet, money on, his Mercedes and clothes and all of this kind of stuff. So he got indicted in 2024. Initially, he tried to wiggle his way out of it and say that, everything's cool, I didn't do anything. But as of December of this past year, he pled guilty and will be sentenced in April of 2026, according to the court documents. Now, since doing that, remember this is 2024 when this happened, he has been sitting on the boards of multiple non-for-profit organizations that just so happen to be all centering around trans rights, trans issues, and stuff like that. And it sounds good, right? When we think about Dominique, we see this person online with their wigs and all of this kind of stuff and their broad shoulders, talking and imitating, women and stuff like that. But what we don't know is what happens behind the scenes. Case in point, one of the organizations Dominique started was an organization that was also non-for-profit. Specifically, the mission is to shut down the prison system. That is the mission of the 501(c)(3). So think about how ridiculous that sounds as someone who is Dominique, who has multiple mugshots, been in and out of jail, but wants to use a 501(c)(3) to shut down the criminal justice system. So she gets all this funding and all of this stuff and sits on these boards, streets named after her, all of this money, and goes and joins other boards, or it appears helps them also start non-for-profit organizations. There are like 6 that she's currently sitting on the board for right now. Apple's Transgender Person of the Year in 2023. All of these accolades, all of these honors, while actively...
Any hit dog, a man in a wig.
Y'all, I cannot. I cannot. Let me tell you, I love any community, the gay, the heterosexual, everybody. I love all of them. But this is some shenanigans if they are trying to actually make sure that they don't get tied to fraud, and that's why they're trying to make him zip his lips. You understand what I'm saying? This is
These
crazy
men are
work.
mad at the DL Whisperer because they've been getting off being a side chick. They've been getting off sitting back laughing at women. Oh, she think her man is faithful to her the whole time. He over here interested in me. Their egos have been boosted being able to deal with women's men behind the scenes, just like a woman, just like a regular side chick. And that's why they can't stand the DL Whisperer, because he is shouting it out. Because these men, like they say, a lot of these men don't even want available men. They don't even want men that are in the lifestyle. They want a man that's down low, a man that belongs to someone else, and that is the issue. When is it wrong to tell the truth? If you don't like the truth, that means your ass is a liar. Since when is it wrong to be transparent? If you don't want to be transparent, that means that you got something that you're trying to hide. We all know God is the truth and the light. So if you're trying to do everything opposite of that, then you're trying to do everything opposite of God. I'm mad because you've been getting off sitting back laughing at women that think that they man really likes them, but they really like y'all. And now y'all mad that this man is telling women the truth. You should be happy. You can have them all to yourself now. What's the problem?
Baby! Because I don't see why even the trans men feel they got to keep secrets for these motherfuckers. If they nasty like that and they going outside with y'all and y'all know they got families and going back home, child, please.
That he was monetizing off of this that people were paying him to go do harm to me.
Is that right? Listen, one thing about a lie don't care who tells it. Now, TS, let's tell the truth. Yeah, I sent that man money. I sent that man money because you doxed him, because you had people calling up to his job, because you had him fired. You care so much about young black men. Let's talk about how this black man was on the verge of homelessness. Let's talk about how you, as a black man in a wig, sit up on your platform and you constantly harass people like me, Nicki Minaj, just hilarious. You hate women, but when it comes to a man dealing with you, all of a sudden you want to run to the police. All of a sudden you scared. All of a sudden you need a protective order. No, you're just a man in a wig and you're a bully when it comes to women. And when a real man gets on your ass, you want to cry and point your fingers. Tell the truth. And look, Trump ain't going, baby. Don't try to get me caught up in none of your bullshit. Trump ain't going. And I ain't either.
You want another?
Child, I can't. Let your girl know what you think down in the comments. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notification bells. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Mwah! Thanks for watching.